Just finished up with my class, about to get things going. What's up, everybody? What's going on, Kate, Meek? Welcome to the shop, y'all. I'm a glass blower. We're in the glass blowing studio. Check it out. I'm gonna get things set up. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the fire emojis in the chat there. Get some fireballs going. Hit the follow button. You can check me out in the future. You can check out my work. And there we are. That's gonna be a cool little angle, I think. What's up? What's up? What's up, Dark Devil? Cordero? What up? What up? What up? So this is the colored glass. This is color right here. We'll be playing with some colors today. These ones I just finished with. I got some more laid out on the table there. I'll be right back. What's up, Vanessa? All right. Can you guys hear me all right? Oh, I lost you guys. Well, what up? What up? Whoever's here hanging out, thanks for hanging out. We'll be doing some glass blowing today. Check it out. All right. Let me get situated here. That color, that. Is that mine? Yeah, that is mine. Okay. Get some water. And then we'll get the second round going here. I was did a show earlier about an hour ago, and I had to take a quick pause. So I told people that were in the show earlier, come back in about an hour. So hopefully we'll get that crowd back in here. We had a cool little crowd. It was a cool little vibe. Um, so yeah, you can check me out Monday through Friday, 11 in the morning Pacific time. I'm right here in Seattle right now, downtown Seattle. And I work here at the studio. I've been working here as an instructor for about 12 years. Check it out. Seattle GlassBlowing Studio. So, what's fragmented? What up? What up? Welcome back. Just about to get started. I just clocked out. About to do round two of the pieces. Let me see if some of these pieces made it from earlier. Oh, one of them broke. This one still made it, I think. All right. Check this one out, guys. This is just a scrap piece. The scrap piece of the one that I made earlier. Even that's freaking cool, huh? Look at that. So I'm still gonna keep this and save this. That's still good. Super Swan. Look, this is what I made earlier. This is the little piece that I cut off to create the spiral pattern. So it's gonna have something like this. You can still see the little air bubbles on there. Look at that. And this is just a little scrap piece, so I'm definitely saving this. There was another piece, but it broke. That one didn't make it. That one was too thick. It's all good. This one made it though. That's the one that matters. Anyways, gonna make some bongs tonight. Gotta finish up this order, so gonna take a quick little puff break, and then we'll get started with the session as far as the glass blowing goes. Hopefully everybody's having a good night. Thanks for coming back in here, Super Swan, man. Appreciate you. Go ahead and take a quick little puff, and then get started with the fun stuff. Maybe get some more people in here. Share the show, guys. Share the show. How about this? If you guys can hear me, how about some fire emojis in the chat? If you guys can hear me, fire emojis in the chat. Super Swan hit me with the fire emoji. Let me see. Super Swan, can you hear me one more time? Fire emoji. Or just say, yeah, we can hear you. Okay. Sweet. Let's get this going. That up real quick. Just before we call it a little snapper. All right. We're back in here. We're back in here. What's going on? What's going on? Do one real quick. We'll do one real quick, and then I'm gonna go from there. Thinking about trying to stream on YouTube as well. Well, I got the live stream actually connected right now. Then I got the TikTok account, which I don't really do that much, but I try to dabble with that a little bit. Okay, here we go. First one. Great. It's a really nice gray, but you really have to like coat it a lot. If you don't coat it enough, and you go to blow it up, it becomes really light and faint. You really can't see it, so you really want to take your time and kind of saturate it. Okay, that was about like 7 good coats. One more little coat, give it a nice good heat, and I'm going to stuff it into this mold. I got these molds on the ground here. This is going to help create texture on the glass, and then I'm going to actually twist the texture around. So it's called the optic mold. It creates all these like ribs and texture creases on the glass. So I have these like vertical lines that run up and down the glass, and I'll twist those around and spiral. Now I'm going to melt the texture away as I twist it up more and more and more. So I'm starting to wind it up. You can see all these little grooves are twisting around. And once I twist it up enough, I'm going to melt it, and there won't be any more grooves on the glass. But what gets left behind is the pattern from all those grooves and all the movement. It creates this kind of spiral pinstripe pattern. Let's see if that one makes it. So now heat this up, get it nice and molten, shape it up, and then blow a little bit of air into it. Once I blow the air, I'm going to seal the pipe with my thumb. This is what we call the starter bubble. So this allows the air to travel up the hollow pipe. Once it heats up enough, the air will start to expand from the heat. As long as the glass is soft and molten, again, it kind of moves out of the air's way. So, heat this up a bit. I forgot, I told myself I was going to just begin the zone. I think I might have to mute myself. A little bit of air, I cap the pipe with my thumb. You'll see the cylinder start to inflate. And now we have this bubble of glass. So I'm going to cool the air off, cool the glass off with some compressed air. Right. So now you can see that pattern of pinstripes spiraling around. Anything for sale? No, make sure you hit the follow. Who is that? Hit the follow. You can check me out in the morning. And all my sales are in the morning. Usually around 11 o'clock Pacific time. You can check out my shop. And you can check out some of my artwork in my profile. Not sure if anything's active or not, but so I'm going to gather some more glass over this. I'll be right back in the picture here in a second with the bigger blob of glass. So this gives me a little bit more material to really work with. So that's how we let that first layer cool down and let it harden. Almost like a candor wax, we gotta let it set. Even that, I have to wait a little bit longer because this is starting to give in a little bit, but we got it here. So even shape. I try to kind of elongate and stretch the glass out by aiming the pipe down. Blow a little bit of air if I need to. And then just letting gravity kind of take hold of it. Depending on the angle that I hold it at, I can dictate how fast I want it to stretch. Still plenty of heat for it to stretch further and further. I just don't want it to run away on me a bit. there. And I'll start to constrict the top of the area where I'm going to separate it later. Stretch that out more. Just going to swing the pipe around. The momentum of me swinging it just stretches the glass longer and longer. So now I'm going to attach the hose to the pipe. It acts like a valve, so one end's attached so I can blow through there. So that way, if I don't have an assistant, I can blow and shape at the same time by myself. Usually you would have an assistant. Well, you usually have a couple assistants. They would be in charge of doing a couple of other things in the process. One of them sometimes is blowing. Okay, blow this up a little bit bigger. Again, it's very light. I wanted it to be a little bit darker, but you can see the gray lines on the top of the neck. Not so much on the bubble. I mean, the bubble, yeah, we'll see how it cools off. Because again, that's the part that's getting blown and stretched out the most. So some of the color tends to kind of fade away a little bit. So I'm out of the picture. I'm grabbing a separate pipe right now with some more glass at the end of this pipe. And that way I can kind of attach this one to the bottom of the vessel. So give that a quick little general heat. Make sure everything stays nice and hot. And I'll set it down on my workbench here. And let it kind of just roll on its own for a bit while I kind of start shaping this other piece of glass up. Aim for the center as best as I can. We'll go right about there. Add some water to the connection over here, or the constriction. I tap the pipe and separate this off from that constriction on the top where I added the water. Alright, so now I'm just going to reintroduce some heat to this, let this soften up, and open up the top. up my sweater a little bit. Man, it's like bleach hit it. So instead of black now, it looks like brown. Comes with the territory. You should see how much holy shirts and sweaters I got from working so close to the heat. Okay. Yep, I wish it was a lot darker. I mean, I can see the gray lines spiraling around. Once it cools down completely, they should be a little bit more defined. But this color, again, I need to really saturate it a lot more, or I just need more concentrated amount. Instead of using powder, I would use like a big chunk of bar and just kind of melt that down and have that get stuck to the pipe instead of it being crushed up into powder. And so I'm going to put this one away and do it again, do another one. Check it out. What up, what up, what up? Shine down. Appreciate you coming back. What's going on, everybody? And there it is. Let me put this one away real quick. And I'll be back in the picture here in a second. All right. Do it again. This time different color. Maybe do the beaker style. All right. It's all nice and droopy, and I'm going to roll it right across these big chunks of red. So it goes from powder, then it goes up in grain size from there. So powder, 00, 0, size 1, size 2. Usually I'm using like powders. I rarely use powders, so it'd be 00 or zeros, and then 1s and 2s. This one that I just used, I think it's size 3 for the red. So there's big blotchier spots. And then the white is going to be an undertone, but instead of just being white spots, I swirled the white around, so it's all just kind of swirled and mixed around. It all looks like white ink dipped into water, so it all just kind of marbles around. So imagine white marbled ink with splotches of red on top. That's what this will be looking like, hopefully, at the end. A little bit of air, wait for the air to heat up. And this one plate. There. Cool it off. So that way I can add the next layer as well. There we go. All right, a little bit of water while that starts to settle down a little bit more. Okay, I'll be right back with some more glass. Alright guys, how about some fire emojis in the chat? Even though I can't see, drop those fire emojis in the chat when you can. I appreciate you. Any new people in the show, hit that follow button. Share the show if you can. Get some more people coming in here and just kind of vibe out with us. Just watch the process. Check it out, y'all. Got a little bit of air in here. Just kind of watch how it reacts. So that's pretty good. So now I'm going to start to stretch it, aim it down. A little bit steeper. Watch my angle now. It starts to stretch. I'll maybe give it a little quick puff. Constriction at the top where I'll break it off later. Okay, so just a little bit of paper, just wet paper. I can grab it with my hand. Get more control of it by just cooling it off in certain areas. Attach the hose to the pipe as the glass starts to keep its shape and cool down. I'll give it a quick little general heat, make sure everything stays semi-hot, and I just go back to that bottom portion that I want to blow up. That's good heat. Heat up that bottom bubble some more. Start to kind of shape it up. Fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji. Alright, separate it from this one. Another one to the bottom. Start working the top. So again, let it kind of take off on its own for a bit while I shape this one up. Okay, so let this start to kind of align itself, heat up the top, and open that up just a bit and refine the top. So far, so good, though. So far, so good. Okay, looks like we're about ready to kind of dilate and open up the top just a bit. There it is. This one away. Let the upper portion start to cool down and keep its structure, while I just keep the bottom somewhat hot, especially that connection. Yeah, cool down too much and break off of there. Okay, one last good final heat. Take it off this plate. sharp edges. Just hit it with the matte gas. Get rid of sharp edges. Yeah. Oh, properly. There we go. Yesterday, my apprentice Wes, he couldn't grip it properly. Dropped one while he went to go put it away. Broke one. I knew it was going to happen, but hoping it wouldn't happen. I guess that's what happens when you get apprentices and showing the greenhorns how it's done. What's up? Oh, we got 8 people in here. What's up, everybody? Let me say what's up to the chat real quick. Give me a second here. Boom, 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 boom. Hit you guys with some of those. Hit you with one of these. What's up, what's up, what's up, everybody? Take a little break. Shine down, what up? Whew, a little bit of H2O. These bongs, take them out of you. Take it out of you. Super Swan, see ya. Hey, Jess, what's going on? Show something cool. Oh, this one cooled off. I made it earlier, and I had to cut a piece of glass off to get the final design. So this is like a little scrap piece. Check this out. So I'll probably just grind this and polish it up. Let me show you from the other angle. Yeah, isn't it? Look at that. So yeah, even this little small little piece of scrap, like I was able to save it. I'll grind that down, use it as a little marble or paperweight or something. Hey, Susan. I've been a glass blower now for this year in April will be my 12th year in the industry. I work at the Seattle GlassBlowing Studio, which is in downtown Seattle, and I've been here for 10 years now. I worked around other studios around the region, and I'm originally from Fresno, California. And I came out to Seattle to pursue this, and I've been doing this again 12 years in April. Started as an apprentice for an artist by the name of Ryan Blythe, and then kind of just took off from there. Show you guys the other angle here. So it originally started in high school with my art project. I made a stained glass art project, and my high school teacher, Miss Lynn, she pulled me to the side at the end of the class and had this documentary about Dale Chicouli and glass blowing, and questioned me about if I ever even heard about him or knew anything about glass blowing, which at that point I never did. And so she gave me this documentary about it, and she said, "Here, take this home, go watch it. I think you'd like it. It's about this artist. He does glass blowing." And so it was this PBS documentary that they released on Dale Chicouli, where he was able to travel around the world and make these really cool glass installations and put them up all kinds of places. And I was thinking, and I took her up on the advice, and I watched this documentary, and I just fell in love. I was like, wait a minute, you're telling me that this guy gets paid to play with molten glass, create some really cool looking stuff, and then travel around the world to do it? Oh, come on, that's a fucking job right there. And so, like, from that point on, it was like my mission to become a glass blower. I really, that's like what I want. That's what my heart was set on. So when I was applying to colleges, I was looking into college that specifically had glass blowing programs in them. And so I got accepted to college. Didn't finish college, but it took about 3 semesters of glass blowing. And in those 3 semesters, I heard about Seattle and how big and how it's like the mecca of glass blowing. So um, there was a point in my life where, like, college just couldn't get it done. I got caught up for graffiti. I was a big graffiti vandal because I wasn't an artist. I mean, I could make some cool stuff, but I was more about just bombing and tagging everywhere. Well, I was doing this in high school and then also in college. And so I ended up getting caught up, and those are like part of the reasons I couldn't finish college and stuff. So long story short, I heard about Seattle, so I moved out here to pursue it. And now I paid off all my fines and restitutions from all my vandalism, so I don't have to owe any more charges with that. It took me about 10 years to pay it all off, but small, tiny increments. FU, Butte County. And so now, as a glass blower, one of my signature pieces of work is that of graffiti. So the name Illis, or the moniker, or the pseudo, or however you want to see it, that was my tag. That's what I was tagging on the street. Illis, short for illustrated. I really fell in love with the word when I heard it on like a old school Notorious B.I.G. rap. He's talking about he's like the illest or something. I'm the illest one. So I just fell in love with Illis. And that was my tag, Illis, Illis, Illis one. And so what I do also is I make these graffiti letter style bubble font glass, right? So the thing about bubble font, I'm playing with bubbles. Graffiti has a lot of color, so I'm playing with a lot of color. And so each letter is a component, and then I'll fuse all the letters together to make a graffiti mural out of glass. And it says Illis. So excuse me, I'm gonna pick up some more glass. I think that's on my profile picture, maybe? I'm not sure. Might have had it before on there. And so a new word that incorporates Illis that I came across a couple of years ago, illustrious. And so hopefully my work is illustrious someday. So that's a little bit about myself as far as like how I kind of got into it. So I started as an apprentice for an artist by the name of Ryan Blythe. Because when I first moved out here, I moved out here in 2010. But because I didn't have a degree or I didn't really have that much experience, nobody was really giving me the opportunity to work for them in the glass blowing community. And so right away, I just kind of started working regular, 9-to-5s. I started off like at a warehouse job. So I am forklift certified. Yes, I can drive the forklift, cherry picker, the scissor lift, all those good things. Sip some more. After the warehouse job, again, couldn't really land anywhere, so I started working did construction. So I did construction for about a year and a half or so. I was able to kind of do a couple projects. I helped kind of build a house from the foundation up to the roof. So that was pretty cool knowledge to know all about that. And then I saw painters and how much more like lightweight work it was. And I don't like working in the rain. I like this hot, wet like this right here. You see, I was like standing right in front of this 2,200-degree furnace. So after a while, I was like, yeah, I can't do the construction no more. So I started doing painting. So I was able to do kind of residential and commercial painting for a while. And it wasn't until like 4 years after I moved out here that my girlfriend at the time just kind of eventually nudged me. Like, yo, whatever happened to glass blowing? Boom, that's all it took. I was like, oh shit, you're right. Kind of lost focus for a bit. I was able to get back on my horse and started applying to jobs again. And that's when I came across Ryan. All right, so I'm just blowing it up a little bit and shaping it. His name's Ryan Blythe. So Ryan, I found his studio, and he couldn't hire me right away. So he was just like, yeah, if you want, I'll just kind of have you hang out. You can apprentice, ask the guys around here, ask the people around here for any, if they need any assistance, you can help them out, and we'll just go from there. So I was like, hell yeah. So I was working my regular 9 to 5, and then on Saturdays, I'd go over there and work with Ryan for free. That's it. Do a quick little heat. Take it off this pipe onto the next pipe. And so, yeah, where was I at? I was working with Ryan, and then I was working his name's Ryan Blythe. He was on a Netflix GlassBlowing show. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the GlassBlowing show on Netflix called Blown Away. But he was on season 3 or season 4, I believe. And so, yeah, Ryan allowed me to apprentice with him for a couple months. And then after a couple months, one of his regular employees happened to just have some type of emergency. They had to take off out of town, and they just weren't able to stick around anymore. So that was when the opportunity really opened itself up. And Ryan was like, approached me. He was like, yo, dude, I need you to start working ASAP. Like, you've been here 4 months. You kind of know how the program works here. And by then, I was already kind of, helping out here and there. I was definitely doing a lot more hands-on and helping the people out. I knew what to do, what was the expectation of the work there. And so I was like, hell yeah, dude. Let me put in my 2 weeks notice on my other job, and then I'll start working right away with you. He's like, I need you right away. You don't think they'll give you a week? And I was like, oh, I'm sure they will. And they did. Like, they knew like the history behind me and like how I wanted to do glass blowing. So they're like, yeah, dude, don't worry about it. So I put in a week, quit that job after that, and then never looked back. And I've been doing it now since I started my apprenticeship in April of 2014. So that's like kind of when I would like to consider when I really started glass blowing, kind of semi-professionally. right, shake that up one last time, and then we'll get ready to take it off the pipe. Okay, there it is. So while that starts to cool down, just kind of again reintroduce a little bit of heat to the bottom. Okay. We got the blue and the white. Yo, what's up, everybody? What's going on? Yo, thanks for checking it out. Thanks for sharing the show, guys. You guys can check me out tomorrow at around 11 in the morning. You can see some of the stuff. I'll show you guys last night's batch here in a bit. Yo, thanks for the follow. I'll show you guys last night's batch here in a bit, what I made last night for the people that were in here last night. You can see the turnout on some of the pieces. All right, let me take this one off of here. With the sharp edges. What's going on, chat? What's going on? Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for checking it out. Share the show with anybody else. Hit that follow button so you guys can check out my work. Put this one away real quick. This is a custom order I'm working on for somebody. I got to make 100 bongs for them by March, mid-March. So I think I'm just under halfway there. So I think I'll make the deadline. I should be all right. Where are we at? I think I'm gonna make one more, guys. We'll get one more in the house, and then I'll go hang out with you guys for a second on the chat. I'll answer any questions if you guys have any questions. What's up, Michelle Mullins, JDM, Fragrance? What up? Shine Down, still hanging down. Super Swan. Susan's having a good night. Good night, Susan. Thanks for hanging out. Have a fun. Yep. Appreciate you. Maui, happy girl. What up? Aloha. See, you just gave it. See, you just puff of air. Yep. I just gave it a puff of air. You missed that. Thinking I got Hudson bullseye glass Julie installation. Yep. Teachers are so important, aren't they? All right. Let me switch up the angle, guys, and we'll get somewhere maybe over here. Let's see, how's this gonna look? Or we can't see the screen. I can't see the fire emojis if I do it that way. Let's do this way. We'll go there. Hope you guys keep you guys at a standstill for a bit. Drop those fire emojis in the chat. Appreciate you guys. And here's our steel pipe, nice and hot. You see the hollow end from one side to the other. I'm just going to review what colors I got laying around and think about my next pattern. I think we're going to go blotchy red. Blotchy red. I'm going to do blotchy red with the spiral of white. Ooh, yeah, or spiral of blue. Let's see if I can pull it off. This one's always difficult to do by myself. All right, so we start out with our clear blob of glass. Yo, what's up, fire emojis? Let's go. All right, I'm going to kind of dab these little big chunks of red. I'll show you guys real quick. Check those out. Those are all just big chunks of colored glass. I got to bring it close. I'll bring it close so I can pivot. The only thing that happens is the heat will heat up the phone and it might die. So I'll back it up just a bit. Oop, melt that first coat of color. With it being so blotchy, I kind of want to keep that design. Like I can add another coat of red if I wanted to, but I also want to keep some clear spots in between. This gives it more of like a mosaic type of feel to it. I see the fire emoji. Shine down, Super Swan. Thank you so much. Let's go. I don't have my big fluffy torch right now, or else I'd be torching away. But we got this one right here. We got the glory hole. So this is the name of the device, the glory hole. And this device here that I'm sliding back and forth is the yoke. So let me shape this up, and then I'll puff a little bit of air into the pipe. And after I puff, I'll seal the pipe with my thumb. Again, this will eventually pressurize the air through that hollow pipe up to the hot glass. And because the glass is so hot, it causes the air to expand. As long as that glass is soft and molten, it moves out of the air's way as it expands. So here we go. I'm going to set you guys up here. Quick puff air. Okay, so I got my thumb at the other end. I got my thumb locked on. And there you can see the shape just inflate. So instead of being kind of cylindrical, it's more round, bulbous. Bulbous, like Bulbasaur. All right, let's go ahead and cool this down. So we cool it off so that I can add another layer of glass over it. Who's that? Lucy, what's up, Lucy? I see the fire emojis. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's go. I got this map gas here. I'll use this torch. Let's go. It's not the same, but you guys get it. For the locals. For the other people, they're like, what the hell's going on? What's up with that? All right, so it looks brown because of how hot it is. But once it cools off, this is going to be bright, bright red. Let me show you guys. There's the red I'm using. There's some of the white earlier. Cobalt blue. Here's the gray, which, again, is very faint. All right, let's go switch it back up. Okay, let me go pick up the next layer of glass, and I'll be right back. All right, so I got my next blob of glass right on top. Start to shape it up a bit. The idea here is that I want the layer of clear glass that I just added to kind of evenly be distributed around that form. And every now and then I kind of move the pipe and tilt it up or down, kind of adjust the entire mass of everything. Blow a little bit of air here in a second and then start to stretch it out. That looks pretty good, so now I just kind of aim down and you'll see gravity start to elongate it. Blow a little bit more air and let it stretch out some more. Go a little bit steeper and start to constrict that area where I'm going to separate it from later. Okay. Swing it a little bit, really start to stretch it out. It's kind of nice when you're not touching it, you're just kind of letting gravity and glass do its own job. It's a lot more organic. Alright, so again, re-emphasize that little score mark. I'm going to attach my hose to the pipe. Alright, so I'm kind of heating up just that bottom half. I'll stretch it out maybe a little bit longer and then start blowing it up a little bit bigger. I wonder how long I can make it. Guess only one way to find out, huh? They're really going at it. Alright, the big kahuna. So I'm going to grab a separate pipe, attach it to the bottom of that one. And finish it up with a blue spiral wrap around the body ideally. We'll see how that turns out, guys. So yeah, tune in, check it out, don't leave yet. I think one of the best parts is going to go down here in a bit. You've seen most of the process for them now, but you haven't seen the body wrap yet. So maybe you've seen it on TV or something like that. I'll show you guys here live right now at the Seattle GlassBlowing studio with Illis. All right. Step right in front of you guys for a second. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to get that pipe out of the way, kind of get this set up. And I got to grab another pipe, and I'm going to add blue to that one. That's that cobalt blue that I showed you guys earlier. worry about that for now. Let's go for the blue. Alright, double fisted here. Okay, so get this nice and hot. Attach it to the vessel from the bottom and kind of coil it around. Give it a quick little heat. Oh shit, oh no. Oh shit, okay. It's alright. Forgot how freaking tough this is by myself. Okay, so you guys don't even get to see all the action. You guys will get to see the best part. It's about to happen here soon. Okay. I think that should be good enough for now. Again, doing it by myself a lot harder. Usually my assistant would bring the pipe over to me. And here we go. There it is. Woo-hoo-hoo. And that is the body wrap applied by myself, y'all. Okay. All right, so on my way out, I accidentally touched the side of the door. So the rim is a little messed up. So I'm just going to touch up the rim and fix that. And then I'll get ready to take this one off here in a bit. How about some fire emojis on the chat for that one right there, y'all? Check it out. All right, so I'm going to cut that little portion off the rim. Fire, fire, fire. Let's go. That's going to be red with that cobalt blue body wrap all the way across the neck. Woo! And it's a really tall one. It's a big one. So now I get everything nice and hot. Make sure that blue really fuses onto the vessel. Now I'm going to touch up the rim just a little bit. Okay. Let's go. I see the fire emojis. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. We're going to go ahead and give this one little final heat. And I'll get ready to separate it off the pipe. And we'll call it good for the night. I should have had the camera here. You guys could have seen me struggling by myself while I was double fisting it. I was like this. One pipe was over here, the other one was in there. It was just, yeah. It's all good though. One good final heat. Take it off the pipe. Alright, so now I'm just going to take my time, let it cool down just a little bit longer before I just take it off too soon as well. Alright, look at that one. That's the best one of the night, guys. That's a good one to finish it up with. So, let me put this one away. It was the biggest one to go out with the banger. Alright, let me turn the equipment off. Shout out to the chat. Thanks for hanging out, whoever hung out here for the long run. And if you're just popping in, thanks for checking it out. What up, what up, what up? Oh, man. Gratefully Green, what's going on? Thanks for the fire emojis. Had to get my nightly dose of Illis. Lucy, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you. Super Swan, shout out, Super Swan. Looks like Fragrance and JDM, whoever shared, they joined in. Thanks for sharing, guys. I'll go back as far as I can kind of remember a little bit. How are you doing that without the gloves, right? Look at these freaking mittens. These fucking things have built some callus over time. Here, let me do the face cam. What is that? That. There we go. So that way it's going to stay glowy hole too. This app keeps me broke. Oh yeah, that's funny. That's a funny name. I'll have to reach out to them. Okay, yeah, that's kind of where I was the earliest. Let's see. I have 30 years as a glass worker. Susan, that's right. I hit you up, Susan. I hit you with the follow. Oh, she does the beads. Yes. A bead maker. Shout out to Susan, hanging out, explaining some of the stuff. Look at Susan. Yay, Susan was out here doing her thing. Nice. What's the tube in his mouth? Oh yeah, that's so I can blow. Alright, Susan's gonna have to be my moderator in one of these shows if she jumps back in here. Yowza. Respect. Thanks, hey Jess. Alright, I think that's more or less where I was left off at. It's addicting. I got hooked seeing bullseye. Vanilla was in here. Have you ever tried any old techniques? The old techniques in glass blowing. What do you refer to old techniques? Gratefully Green. There's like mold blowing. We do mold blowing, like if I need to blow into a mold. Not just these molds on the ground, but we also have like other molds to create different shapes. Traditionally, you have an assistant, and the assistant would be blowing through the pipe. But as I think Susan was mentioning earlier, I'm just using this hose so that I can attach one end to the pipe and blow through the other end. Um, some of my style of glass is Venetian style, which is kind of like 1700 era, like Roman era, where like they were making all these very intricate like goblets or vases with all these patterns and designs, and also like all these extra components to really give it this kind of really decked out look, embellishments to the glass. And so I started making some style of work like that. I have a vase at home that I added all these components and stuff to. Actually, I have some stuff here in the gallery. So let me show you what I got here in the gallery, our gallery. Switch that up. I'll show you guys some of my work real quick. So this is the gallery where I work at, and so you can see a lot of the stuff here, but I'll go straight to my work. So here's some bases and stuff. So this is my signature lines of work here, and these are kings and queens, or what I like to call the crowned pawn. So you can see the crowned pawn there, Illis, Seattle, Washington. And so these figurines are shaped in the pawn shape, and then you can see the crown on top. They're inspired from chess. Different colors, different shapes, different styles. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And so this is my signature line of work here. Because I can make stuff like, lampshades, I can make vases, cups, paperweights, right? Stuff like this. Decor like pumpkins and eggs, Christmas decor, right? I can do that stuff, but I really wanted something to be more of a signature item. And so, in the process of working and making my own chess pieces, I decided to make these and blow them up and make them bigger. So, here's some of the smaller ones here, king, queens, and then the crowned pawn in the back over there with the biggest one. That's the biggest one so far that I got in the gallery. I also made these jellyfish sculptures. Check out these jellyfish paperweights. So yeah. So yeah, this is where I work at. I get to see a lot of cool stuff. Check out this piece. Look at this thing. Freaking amazing. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna finish it off with that. Low Slows boss, what's up, Low Slows? Thanks for jumping in real quick. Thanks for the tour. Yeah, no problem. Catch me in the morning around 11 o'clock Pacific time. That's when I have my sales. You can see some of my inventory and stuff. So make sure you hit the follow button if you haven't. Um, and then, yeah, catch me around 9 o'clock at night, again, Pacific time. And that's when I'm in the studio making stuff. So yeah, I'm going to finish it off with that. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you guys supporting and just watching, sharing, hanging out, listening. Any questions, any feedback, always feel free to drop in the chat. How long does it take to cool down? So the ones where we keep the glass. Oh, that's what I got to show you guys last night's batch. Sorry. Last night's batch is in here. And so I ran this last night, and it's still right now 127 degrees. But at this point, I can open up the doors. And look, here we are. So this is last night's batch. There's the bubble trap technique for the people that might have seen that. Oh, that's right. It broke off. Look, some of it broke off. This is with the help of my apprentice. So with the help of my apprentice, I was able to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. With the help of my apprentice, in 2 hours, we made 5. In the 1 hour that I just rented by myself, I made 5. Oh my gosh. How does that work? The math is not mathing. The math is not mathing. Oh, I made this suction cup. So my buddy's into massaging. And he asked me if I can make him suction cups. So these are going to be custom-made suction cups. Like a little fire underneath, and then, oh, but you know what? Oh, that might be dangerous with this formula glass. I don't know. We'll see. You'll have to find out the hard way. White with the baby blue. Kind of teal mix, or a little teal color with the bubble trap. Why does it feel like a piece of stringer fell on there? Great. And then we lost one right here in the back. This one. This is the one that he was tipping over. He was putting down and tipped over on me, bro. Fucking disappointment on that one, honestly. Gotta be careful because it's fucking sharp as a motherfucker. Looks like it did have one more in here in the back. So it looks like we did 6 and then we lost 1. And this is a partial one. And I did this suction cup. So that's last night's batch, guys. And it takes about 18 hours overall to cool down properly. And that's just depending on how big and how thick the glass is. So like I like to use the analogy of like cement. The more cement you have, the longer it's going to take to dry or cure or whatever. So with glass, the same thing, just in thermodynamics, right? Like in the sense of heat. The bigger, the more mass you're using, the slower and the longer it's going to have to cool down. So we average our cool down cycle to about 16 to 18 hours. So yeah. What's up, Chris? Welcome to the shop, man. Just finishing up. I'm a glass blower. Check out the equipment. Yo, thanks for the follow. I'll show you a quick little piece that I made earlier. Check this one out, guys. This is just a scrap piece. I ended up having to cut this off. But this is the leftover piece of it. Check out the optics that it gives off. So maybe I'll do like a gibby or something with this one at the end. At the end of the show tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, we'll do this one as a gibby if I don't forget. I'll put it in my pocket right now, but. Whoop. All right, guys. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the support. Fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji. And catch you on the next one. Y'all have a good night. See you later. Shine down. Have a good night. Get some sleep. Let's go. I gotta do the fire emojis myself. Here we go. Peace out. Yo, gratefully green. Thank you.